I've discovered that Fahmi Fadzil, who's the communications director of Parti Keadilan, has a secret life. Hello, Fahmi.
Hi, Ivy.
In your Twitter feed, you say
Yeah.
you're a performer,
Yeah.
writer, actor, I suppose, and only then a political activist.
Yeah.
You're better known as an actor, performer, or a political activist.
My foray into the arts came first because although I was politically conscientized, my eyes opened in 1998, 1999 because of Reformasi and all the running through the streets. But it was also at the time when I was in college and we had a friend of mine who's a teacher, Mr. Mohan, taught literature but like Dead Poet Society. So everyone had to do something.
Right.
And I was very involved in performance. So I see the work that I do primarily I was first a performer.
Yes.
Not even an actor, so to speak, but performer, writer, and then political activist.
Performing what? What kind of performance?
All kinds of performances, on stage, either as an actor, as a director, and now, I guess, on pentas-pentas ceramah.
But that's, I see, because you see that as a big performance when you're on stage talking about politics and giving
Yeah.
But if you had a choice between being a performer and being a political activist or a politician, what would it be?
I think right now Malaysia needs people to be active in the political sphere. My decision to join political party was very clear, that I wanted to help make some kind of change in Malaysia before going back to performance, maybe at some point in the near future. Having said that, I still do work in small performances as and when I can steal some time between politics, raising a family, and being true to, there's a part of me that's always going to be there in the arts.
I remember there's a story about how you had to apologize through Twitter a zillion times. Can you tell us about that? What happened?
Yeah, a friend of mine whose wife was working in a publication firm. She was pregnant at the time, and she was getting a lot of difficulty with the management, and then they were going to fire her because she was pregnant. And I got very upset. And at this point in time, I think not that many Malaysians were on Twitter yet, so I posted. I went on a rant. Then they found out who I was, and they found out who I was working for at that point in time. I worked for Nurul Izzah. So they decided to make it as though it was a political thing. And then they wanted to take me to court. But we managed to settle everything amicably outside of court. And it involved a performance of posting 100 tweets. It was interesting enough because at that point in time, I think people were not sure how to resolve things on Twitter. So that, while it may not have been the first, but it was quite publicized, and people were debating, talking about it all the way in France, in Brazil,
You repeated that.
I repeated that.
They repeated the apology to
you. It was
you,
like Bart Simpson. So people saw me as Bart,
And immediately your followers, the number of followers just shot up, right?
Yeah.
So it's like basically you won.
Yeah. Well, some people say that. I like to think that at the end of the day, the rakyat must win.
And that's why you become a politician.
Yes, I think so. I think it's very important at this point in time.
Well, besides performing as a politician, very recently I saw you in a 2-minute performance, right? Where the audience gave you different objects and then you started creating stories around it.
Yes.
So today I present you this object.
Wow.
And you only have 2 minutes.
Okay.
Right. Let's go.
Okay. A dear friend of mine, Marian de Cruz, once said that, yes, Malaysia is a very strange place, and oftentimes we feel heartbreak upon heartbreak seeing things happening. But all the efforts for change must continue. No matter what, we have to, in our own very little ways, continue chipping away, chipping away at the block in order to see some kind of change happen. And I believe that eventually some kind of change will happen. And as we go through these very, very trying times, whether Pakatan Rakyat is still there or not, whether Barisan Nasional is still there or not. I think it's very important that the rakyat always is there to make sure that Malaysia never disappears. Yes, in all our own little ways, we need to continue chipping away, chipping away, chipping away at the blocks that continue to stop us from moving forward, whether that block is apathy, corruption, despondency, despair. Because whether we like it or not, Malaysia is our home. And for me, that is the only mask that I will dance to.